Okay, let's start with a question. Did you know the kids' personal care market is projected to hit $137 billion by 2030? That's not just a number. It's a seismic shift in how brands are targeting families. And Frida, the baby products giant you probably know from those viral nose Frasier videos, is betting big on this trend with their new Frida For Kids line. But wait, why does a company that built its empire on snot-sucking devices suddenly care about deodorant for 8-year-olds? Let me break this down. And trust me, it's way more fascinating than it sounds. First, let's talk about the gap in the market. CEO Chelsea Hirschhorn, a mom of 4, noticed something glaring. The baby aisle is packed with gentle shampoos and organic wipes, and the teen section screams neon packaging and cool vibes. But what about the kids stuck in the middle? The 6 to 11-year-olds who aren't babies but aren't hormonal tweens yet either? Personally, I think this is where most brands fail. They either infantilize or over-sexualize. There's zero nuance. Frida's play here isn't just smart, it's empathetic. They're addressing a group that's been forced to settle for products not designed for their bodies or maturity levels. Now, let's dissect the Walmart partnership. Why Walmart? Because they've created a dedicated tween aisle, a literal shelf space for kids' products that aren't baby or adult. This isn't just retail, it's a cultural statement. What's fascinating is how Walmart, a company often criticized for generic mass-market moves, is suddenly leading innovation here. And Frida isn't just slapping their name on generic formulas. They're avoiding certain ingredients, like harsh chemicals, that might be fine for adults but sketchy for developing kids. That's not just a safety play, it's a trust-building move. Parents today are paranoid about what touches their kids' skin, and Frida knows it. But here's what most people overlook. This expansion isn't random. Frida's growth, $2 billion in sales and 30% annual growth, has been fueled by a playbook that's all about following the parent journey. They started with baby care, expanded into pregnancy and postpartum, and now they're locking in families for another decade. This isn't a product launch, it's a life cycle strategy. And targeting Walmart moms? Brilliant. These are value-conscious shoppers who aren't loyal to luxury brands, but will pay a premium for thoughtful products. The price range, $7 to $20, nails that accessible premium sweet spot. Let's zoom out. This move taps into a deeper cultural shift, Generation Alpha. Born from 2010 to 2025, these kids are digital natives who've never known a world without TikTok. Brands like Sephora and Abercrombie have already started tailoring to tweens, but Frida's approach feels more practical. They're not selling beauty or style, they're selling hygiene with a side of parental peace of mind. And that's where the magic lies. Parents don't want their 7-year-old using the same deodorant as their dad, but they also don't want to feel like they're pushing their kid into premature adulthood. Frida's balancing act here is delicate, and I'd argue, necessary. But here's my contrarian take. Is this really about filling a gap, or is it about monetising childhood longer? Let's be real. The tween market exploded because brands realized you can milk parents for another 5 years if you make them feel like their kid needs specialized products. On one hand, yes, kids' bodies are different. On the other, are we pathologizing normal development? I'm not saying Frida is evil, far from it. But this trend raises a question. When does thoughtful innovation become manufactured demand? The kids' market is growing at 7% annually, but is that because of genuine need or clever marketing? Ultimately, Frida's move is a masterclass in life cycle branding. They're not just selling products, they're selling the idea that parenting is a series of expert handoffs, from baby to kid to teen. And if you're a parent watching this, you're probably thinking, finally, someone gets it. But if you're a skeptic like me, you're wondering if we're just creating new problems to sell new solutions. Either way, though, $137 billion is a lot of deodorant sticks. What do you think? Genius or gimmick? Drop your thoughts below.